Hi guys, thought I'd do a quick little update video. Tank's going really well. It's over a year old now. I've had the tank since, very beginning of November 2017. So yeah, we're just over a year old now. Everything's absolutely flourishing in there. All going really well. Can't say that anything's untoward at the moment. I've got loads of coral really growing. I've got quite a few frags a little while back. If you remember in my videos, I've got some from mail order corals online. They've all been doing really well. The green hystrix there, that was a tiny little piece of frag. There was probably only about 10 to 15 little small branches coming off of a small frag. So yeah, that's doing really well. That's absolutely bloomed. The pink hystrix one, they're still growing, not at the same sort of rate as the green hystrix, but yeah, that one's doing nice as well. There's plenty of larger trunks on there, larger stalks. So yeah, really pleased with that one. This Montipora has gone crazy. That was tiny. That was probably in a square, probably 2 centimetres by 2 centimetres when I first got it. So yeah, that's absolutely huge now. The purple plate, you can see, that started to grow downwards as my stylo next to it started to grow horizontally towards the left. And that was because of the position of my pump. My MP40 was a little bit further back. So I moved that a little while ago over further towards the left hand side. And yeah, I started to get like my green, the stylo there, you can see at the top on the right, there's a little point starting to come upwards now. So yeah, hopefully that will start growing in a different shape, as the plate hopefully will as well, now that the flow's off of it. Yeah, my hammer, that's been doing really well. I've got Hollywood Stunner here. It's absolutely massive now. Well, massive compared to like the tank size sort of thing and what it was. That was a small frag, probably 4 centimetres by 4 centimetres when I first got it. That's really growing quickly. And as you can see, it's pretty close to the edge of the glass now. So every time I'm going past with my flipper magnet, I'm actually hitting the sides of it. So I'm going to start to frag that off now, just to make it a little bit smaller, a bit more manageable. As it was it's getting stung by my humours, which I was quite surprised about. I didn't realise they would do that. But yeah, it's been stung quite a lot by those. So yeah, I'm going to frag that off. And also, when I broke a little bit a while back, I didn't realise how quick it would grow, but I put some over here as well. It was a tiny little piece. Now that's growing quite well, and it's also started to sting, unfortunately, my other stylo over here. So I'm starting to lose some of that now, so I'm going to try and break all of that off, if not all of it, just as much as I can, and get rid of that, because I don't really want my stylo to die off. I prefer the SPS, to be honest. So these humours here, they've just completely taken over this rock, and they've actually started to sting my chalice now. So I'm losing some of my chalice as well, which I'm really gutted about, because that hasn't really grown much at all since I've got it. But I think that's to do with me keep moving it around, not being able to find a decent home for it. But these humours there, since they've multiplied, some of them are just getting huge now. They really are. They've taken over that rock. So I'm actually thinking of getting some smaller pieces of rock in there, putting them right next to the humours so that they move over and attach themselves to the rock, so I can get it out and get rid of some of them. Because like I say, they're just absolutely smothering that rock. Albeit I have got an aptasia problem at the moment, and they seem to be going over the top of the aptasia and actually suffocating a few of them. But I can't see where the aptasia are going to be honest, so it must be the fact that the humours are getting rid of them for me, in a way. But yeah, that aptasia, I've tried Aptasia X, the Red Sea product. It's absolutely useless. I started off with one aptasia. I put a syringe full of Aptasia X into a couple of them. I see that they imploded on themselves after the set time of about 15 seconds. Then about a week later, I had more. Done it again, got rid of them all, but then I had even more still, so they just seem to multiply on it. It's more of a breeding solution than it is a killing solution. So yeah, no luck with Aptasia X, unfortunately. Can't really say that I recommend that product, to be honest. My trachea in there, he hasn't really grown much since I got him, to be honest, but he keeps getting stung. He was stung recently by my chalice because I put it too close to there stupidly. So yeah, I'm just trying to keep him out of the way at the moment until he recovers. And they do recover. He's been stung quite a few times in the past. Gone that darkish sort of colour around the edge. And then after a while it does start coming back. You can probably see on the bottom section of him there, it's actually starting to come back in the green colour again. So yeah, he's on the mend. What else? Candy cane. That's doing really well. I actually broke that recently, stupidly, trying to move it, so I've glued it back together. But yeah, that's absolutely fine. The mushrooms are doing well. My levers, that one's got really big. This one over here, this one keeps, as you can see it's doing now actually, it's starting to split in a few places again and bits keep dropping off. So one little piece there dropped off a while back when it started to frag itself. I've got another little piece down here. There are pieces everywhere in there. Another piece over there. So yeah, there's a few at the back as well. The lever seems to be doing really well. I'm not sure if it's splitting itself because it's unhappy, or whether it's just getting to a certain size that it's started to do it. I have no idea. But yeah, so my other plate, you can see in the middle here if I zoom right in. So that's that sort of like square section in the middle there that's slightly raised. That was the original frag. So you can see that the green plate is doing really well, as too is the red one. Instead of growing forward and outwards, this plate seems to be growing backwards towards the Montipora digitata. It seems to be growing backwards. So I was actually hoping that the red part and the green plate, I was hoping both of those might fuse together. I've seen some photos of a green and red plate fused together before and they look absolutely stunning. And then with the purple being nearby as well, hopefully one day I'll be able to get all three of them fusing together. Whether that's possible or not, I have no idea. I'd like to think so. Yeah, that Montipora branching off really well. I've moved my Green Star Polyps GSP, I moved that up to the top at the back because I weren't seeing much growth out of it, to be honest, but since I've done that it's got a little bit more flow up there, a little bit more light. It's doing really well and it's actually started to attach to the back wall now, which is what I wanted from it. So hopefully I'll get that starting to grow up the back wall soon, then I can cut a little piece off and bring that back into a different position because I don't really like it balancing at the end there, but it'll do for the time being. I got a barley slimer a little while ago. Always wanted one of these. So yeah, I got a frag. It was about, at the moment that's standing at about 12 centimetres high. When I got it, it was about 8 centimetres tall. And you can see in the middle, there's a piece that's starting to come out horizontally now. It's starting to grow outwards, which I'm really pleased about. So getting good growth off of that. And this stylo next door, again, that was half the size of that when I first put it in, so that's doing really well. You can see another piece of Montipora digitata there. I had to break that off because it was getting completely stung by my Hollywood stunner. It was originally there. You can just about see the green part down there. So yeah, it was getting stung. So I snapped it off, took it up there, snapped off a couple of the dead bits, and that seems to be coming back now. That's growing quite well. So yeah, I've got some real wars going on in the tank at the moment. Emperor Cardinal just always lives there. He literally stays there all day and all night in between the two torches. So this torch, maybe someone could tell me what this is. So a little while back, probably 3 weeks ago, it started to go in on itself, and now the whole lot has completely disappeared from that area. I have no idea why. I don't know if it was getting stung by the Hollywood stunner, whether it's doing it because it's growing, I have no idea, or whether it has actually just died. But there's another little piece next to it as well that's starting to do the same. It's gone in on itself. So I'm not really sure why that's happened. It's still quite a nice sized torch, but I'm hoping there isn't an issue with it. I'm going to try and get some advice on that. But yeah, they all seem to be doing really well. And unfortunately, my little Scully, he's not been doing great. He's been stung a few times. He's starting to grow back again, but he's just not really done very well, or I haven't really found a decent place for him. I wanted to leave him on the sand, but he just keeps getting covered in the sand, so then I put him on a little piece of rock that I fragged off, glued him to that, still trying to move him around, and he just hasn't settled, so he hasn't grown much, and he just keeps getting obliterated by everything, to be honest, but he's still alive and he's still doing okay. So my Zoa's here. I don't know if you remember in one of my other videos, I almost completely lost it. There was, I don't know what happened, whether it was a bit of a disease or something like that, but yeah, I almost lost the whole lot of it. There was, on them, the pink Zoas, there was probably 20 left, 20 heads left on the whole thing, but now it seems to have flourished again, and it's covered almost completely covered the entire rock piece that it was on, so really happy that that's come back again, because I didn't want to lose it. They're all doing well. I got a feather duster a little while ago, because I lost the first one after about 6 months. I've no idea why, he just started to come out of the tubing one day. Yeah, and unfortunately lost him. But since getting this one, he seems to be fine. The last frag I haven't shown you is that plate there. You can just about see in the middle there the outline of the heart-shaped piece that I originally started off with. So yeah, that's really started to spread. Sorry, it's coming off in all directions there. So yeah, really happy with the growth of absolutely everything. I've just done my testing for the week, and everything's looking really good. I'll just show you in the sump. Fish-wise, just before I go into the sump, they're all doing well. Unfortunately, I had to get rid of the yellow tang. He did not get on with the purple tang. I think it's just because they're both exactly the same size, exactly the same shape. The purple was just getting bullied, and a few weeks ago, the purple didn't have hardly any fins left whatsoever. They were just ripped to shreds. So I got my fish trap out, a clear perspex box with a little trap door on it. After about 2 hours, the yellow went into it. So yeah, I gave him back to the shop, hoping that he went to a good home. Yeah, since then, purple's doing absolutely great. Looks really, really healthy. Lipstick's doing well, as always. I know I've had quite a few comments of people saying, oh, you've got to get rid of the tangs, get them out of there, they're far too big, blah, 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 blah. Look, the fish are happy at the moment. I am going to get all of the tangs out, because I want to get smaller fish again. I'm replacing the yellow tang with a banana wrasse, because I've had a few issues with planaria flatworms, and I've still got them. I actually looked in my algae light reactor the other day, and I can see quite a few flatworms in there. They seem to be thriving in there. So yeah, I'm going to get a banana wrasse. So fish with jobs, basically. Banana wrasse, so he takes care of the planaria. I'll get rid of the two tangs in the next month or so as well. Not because there's anything wrong with them, but I just feel guilty, to be honest. I mean, by rights, no one should keep fish in a tank, full stop. Animals shouldn't be kept in a zoo. Everything should be left in the wild, but that's not the way it is. We've all got hobbies, etc. We've all got enjoyments. I enjoy looking after the fish. They all seem happy. As soon as I go anywhere near the tank, Mr. Lipstick thinks he's going to get fed, as he keeps coming up all the time. So yeah, they're all doing well. They're all healthy. Beautiful markings on the purple tang. Absolutely stunning. Really, really healthy. And they seem happy enough. My Emperor Cardinal, he's absolutely huge now. I'm actually thinking of getting rid of him, but replacing him with a baby. Just again, I want the fish to have more space, which is why I'm going to get smaller versions of all my fish. So there's a couple of wrasses that I want. So yeah, I will be swapping them over soon. I didn't show you my small SPS here. It's starting to grow. Mind out of the way. Starting to grow at the bottom there. I'm getting some. It's growing over the side of the frag now at the bottom, and I'm starting to get some branching at the bottom as well. So yeah, that's growing as well. I'm not sure of the name of it. So yeah, someone could tell me that. I'd be appreciative. When I bought the frag, I wasn't sure what it was, but I just like the colours of it. Purple with the green parts. So yeah, go down into the sump. Bear with me, and I will turn the light on inside. The camera's going to go funny for a sec. Right, in my sump, I've now got all 3 of my dosing pumps running. The first one there, I'm running alkalinity. Alkalinity wise, I'm actually using 79 mil a day now on this tank, and it seems to be, I won't say that I'm keeping it stable because I'm not at the moment. Some weeks it seems to use more than other weeks, but yeah, I'm not actually keeping it perfectly stable, but it is between 76 and 79 mil a day I'm using. The second container, second dosing pump is calcium. I'm doing about 10 mil a day at the moment of calcium on the dosing pump, and that seems to be pretty stable. My third dosing pump, I'm actually with the new Red Sea containers, which come with dosing pump caps ready to link up to your doser. I'm actually doing that on the third one now. So algae has been kept down. Nitrates and phosphates are, it's difficult. I mean, the phosphates seem to have dropped. I'm getting about 0.02 to 0.04 now. And my nitrates, they seem to be going quite high. They're between 4 and sort of like 15 at the moment. I can't seem to get a happy medium between the two. I'll show you my results there. So ammonia has always been good since I've put those Bacto rocks. The Bacto rocks, they're in a little sack at the back of the sump. You can't really see, so there's too much reflection. They're in the back there somewhere in a little pouch. So yeah, the Bacto rocks have really helped out. Phosphates, you can see it was stable at the very start, but as time's gone on, they seem to have dropped quite a lot. Now I'm getting sort of like the 0.02s to 0.04s. Nitrates, yeah, sometimes I've been getting well over 4 and 5 ppm, so it's hard to keep a happy medium between the two. I'm doing about 5 mil a day of no-pox at the moment. If I do too much, I completely lose my phosphates. If I don't do enough, my nitrates go through the roof. So yeah, keeping a happy medium is pretty difficult, but they seem to be okay at the moment. Things are still growing. Nitrite, I always seem to have a little bit of nitrite in the water. I'm not really too sure why. Sometimes it's 0, sometimes it's 0.05. Hasn't really gone much more than that, to be honest. I know there's a tiny little bit at the top discrepancy, but that seems to be pretty stable. Everything seems to be fairly healthy. My salinity, that's been an absolute pain in the backside for the last couple of months. I think I'm going to have to get a new ball float for the sump. For some reason, I've cleaned it 4 or 5 times now and it just won't stay stable. It keeps clogging up and shooting right up. I've even had like 36 on my salinity, which is really irritating. So yeah, I'm taking out water now and again, replacing it with RO water just to drop the salinity down. Hopefully I've rectified it, because the last couple of weeks it stayed in 35s, but I still want to get it down to 34 if I can. Temperature's all good. Alkalinity, like you can see there, it's a bit up and down still. Dosing pump's just kicked in. Calcium, like I say, I'm doing about 10 mil a day of that. I've started to use a little bit more magnesium now. I'm having to do a little bit of dosing once a week. Not got it on a dosing pump yet because there's not enough of it. But yeah, so parameters all seem to be really good. And I've actually, even though I've only wrote a W once there, for the last 4 months now, nearly 4 months, or about three and a half months, I've only done 3 water changes. So I'm doing them once every 4 weeks now, my water changes, and I'm only doing 10%, so about 25 litres on this tank. I don't seem to need to do any more than that, and it's all staying pretty stable. That's 2 batches of Miracle Mud in there. I seem to be getting loads of little sea sponges, the little green bits. Well, that's what I've been told they are, sea sponges. So yeah, all going really well. I'm pleased that I've gone down to water changes once every 4 weeks, to be honest, because the lower maintenance, the better, really. It seems to be running itself at the moment, which I'm really pleased about, because as we all are, we're all extremely busy, so time is of the essence. So yeah, I'm really happy that it's running itself. A little custom made shelf that I made for all of my little bits and bobs. That's about it, guys. not really got anything more to speak about at the moment. I will do another update in a couple of weeks' time over the Christmas period, because I'm taking a few weeks off. So yeah, I'll speak to you shortly. Thanks very much for watching.